And welcome to the Hot Seat of College Football Show. I am Trent, your host, as today we're going to be talking about the ACC Power Rankings heading into next season of college football. Let's talk about it. So before we get into this video, thank you guys so much for watching. Also, subscribe to the show. We are one subscriber away from 200. We're so close. We just need one more today and we'll get to 200. We've been working for the past 2 months to get here. And also remember to like the show. It's free, it costs nothing, and helps double the amount YouTube promotes the show. Also, if you're interested, go watch my Big Ten and SEC power rankings from where's Ohio State to Georgia, Bama, Oregon, all of the teams from those two conferences. Make sure you go watch those videos. I'll pin them right here. Tomorrow we're going to do the Big 12, but today we're doing the ACC. So let's start off. Do we want to start from number 1 or start from number 18? I think we'll start off at 18, and I'm probably going to go through a lot of these quickly just because a lot of these teams are pretty bad. But let's start off at 18. It's Boston College. They were horrible last year. They went, I think, 2-10 or 3-9. Actually, let me bring up the ACC standings. I had it up a second ago. I kind of messed it up. So I know they finished last in their conference. They were tied with Syracuse, but Syracuse won 3-9. Boston College goes 2-10. They won their last game. Who do they win against? Who? Oh, they beat Syracuse. Okay, that makes sense. So actually, no, they're second to last since they beat Syracuse. But yeah, another year under Bill O'Brien. First year, or his second year. First year was okay. Second year was horrible. At 17, and a team that was horrible last year, had a surprisingly amount of hype because of their head coach. That is North Carolina with Belichick. I'm not a believer in Belichick. I don't really know what to say with Belichick. The whole girlfriend thing seems to matter to him more than the team. And Bill Belichick was just on a Mr. Beast video a week ago. So I have no faith in them. It's such a pretty university, and their uniforms are so good looking. But it's unfortunate they are so bad. Last year, their entire season was one drive. They had that first drive against TCU, and then they were terrible after that. They finished 4-8, losing their last 3. At 16, I have Wake Forest and a team that I think they're just losing some. And they actually went 9-4, so actually were pretty impressive. But I know it's Wake Forest. I'm not super high on them, but I think their quarterback was pretty good last year. I'm trying to remember his name. Was it Deshaun Purdy? I think maybe was that the full-time starter. But yeah, they were actually a surprisingly good team. They had a actually surprisingly good offense. They had wins over SMU. And they should have beat Georgia Tech. They got robbed that game. At 15, I have Stanford, Andrew Luck, who's not the head coach. I know some people think that because they hear Stanford and Andrew Luck. I think he's either their athletic director or their GM. I think he's the GM. But yeah, they were pretty bad last year. They finished 4-8 as well. Did not win a single game on the road, went 3-5 in the conference. And yeah, it was not Stanford has not been good at all, really, since Harbaugh left. So yeah, I like what he can build there, but I'm not very high on Stanford this year. At 14, I got Florida State. And my goodness, I don't even know what to think about Florida State because they were horrible. They won a national title, won a Heisman in 2013. Then they had some good seasons, but were ridiculed with big upset losses, like the upset when they were number 2 in 2016. Louisville kills them. The loss of Georgia Tech, the famous loss of Georgia Tech, not the one in Ireland, the one with the blocked field goal. And yeah, then they go 13-0, win the ACC, get left out of the playoff. And 24, they go from 13-0 to 2-10. And Then the year after that, they bring in a bunch of transfers, bring in Tommy Castellanos from Boston College, and then they destroy Alabama, and then they destroy the FCS team, put 77 on their head. And we're like, here we go. Florida State's number 8 in the country. Then they lose in overtime at Virginia. And they also did not win a road game. They did not win a single road game this year or last year. So they have not run a road game in 2 years. In 2 years. They've not run a road game in 2 years. They finished 5-7 this year. Absolutely terrible. 2-6 in conference. After you destroyed Alabama, I don't know what happened to this team. I mean, they obviously they gave up. You lose on the road at Stanford when, I mean, you were much better than Stanford. I mean, you had Tommy Castellanos, you had Squirrel White. I mean, you had good players. But yeah, I don't know. And like when they beat Bama, Bama was like ready. They were upset because Florida State was talking crap. But yeah. At 13, and a team that has just fallen off after winning the ACC, that is Duke. A lot of it is Darian Mensah left to go to Miami. But Duke is your reigning ACC champions at a record of a very impressive 9-5 after they get to the conference championship, being 7-5 over a 10-2 Miami because of a 5-way tiebreaker. I don't even know, how did that happen? How does that even happen? I think it's all because SMU or Cal beat SMU. I think that's the thing that started it. And if you think about it, Cal beating SMU, because SMU beat Miami, it kept Miami out, put Duke in, which allowed a second group of 5 team in, which allowed James Madison in, which kept Notre Dame out. So because Cal beat SMU, Notre Dame didn't make the playoff. It's funny how the butterfly effect works. But yeah, I mean, I'm not very high on them. They went 7-5 with a great quarterback. Now they don't have him. So they got them at 13. At 12, I got Syracuse. Syracuse was the team that beat Clemson. They looked really good. Stephen Jelly tears his ACL out for the year. They finished 3-9, 1-7 after, I think, being 3-1. I think they were 3-1, and I was like, okay, they look pretty good. Stephen Jelly is coming back. Will he be fully healthy? I don't really know. But yeah, I got him at 12. I like their coach. I don't think the rapper, Lil Tusi or whatever, the rapper receiver will not be playing for them. But yeah, I like the Syracuse team. I think they're not going to go 3-9, be last in the conference. I mean, really, if Stephen Jelly doesn't get hurt, they probably go 6-6. So that's why I got them at 12. At 11, I have Clemson, and man, Clemson lost everything. They lost Cade Klubnik, Peter Woods. They lost a bunch of guys. This is supposed to be a team people were picking being your national champion last year, and they finished 7-6. Don't even win their bowl game to Penn State. They got destroyed by Penn State, honestly. But yeah, I got them at 11. This is Dabo's last year. And thinking about Dabo leaving, since we're called the hot seat, I'm gonna do a video talking about the top 10 coaches that are that might get fired. Dabo could be on there. I don't know if I'll put him on. He might step down. He might be like a Mike Tomlin situation instead of getting fired. Where do I think he will go? I don't think he's gonna go to the NFL. I don't think he's an NFL coach. If Mike Norvell gets fired, I can see him going to Florida State. But that's kind of a rival. I'm trying to think who's leaving. I could see him going to the SEC if DeBoer leaves. I think did Dabo Swinney go to Alabama in college? Dabo Swinney college. Yeah, he was a wide receiver at Alabama. And for some reason, I think they coded that into the video game because Kalen DeBoer always gets fired within the first year of your dynasty, and Dabo always leaves Clemson to go to Bama. But also, Clemson and Bama had their duel, so that'd be kind of funny. Kind of like Urban beating Ohio State national title, then going to Ohio State. At 10, I got Virginia Tech. This is James Franklin's team. Ethan Grunkmeyer is probably your starting quarterback, but they got the whole team from Penn State to leave, or not all the seniors, but all the undergrad to leave and go to Virginia Tech, which I think this team will be one of the most improved teams in the ACC, as they also went 3-9. These are like bottom of the barrel ACC teams. And Virginia Tech used to mean something. The fans still love it. They still go there for Enter Sandman. Unlike Wisconsin fans, when Ohio State played at Wisconsin, the stadium was empty, and then Jump Round came, it filled up, then after they all left. Virginia Tech fans, I'm waiting. Even though they beat us in 2014, we won the national title, but I really like Virginia Tech. I like this program. I like when Virginia Tech's good. I like when Virginia Tech is really good at football. And I like where James Franklin could take them. At 9, I got Georgia Tech. This is a team that finished, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in the conference. They were 9-4, lost their last 3 games. Or no, that's not right. Yeah, no, they did. Wow. Yeah, they did. Because they lost to, who did they lose to? I know they lost to BYU in the bowl game. They lost to Georgia, and then they lost to Pitt. And before that, they were what? They were 9-1, and they finished 9-4. So this is a team that people may have talked about going to the playoffs, or at least going to the ACC championship. They do not do either. And with them, they're going to have their head coach back, Reinke, but losing their quarterback, oh my God, I'm blanking on his name. Haynes King, losing Haynes King, and I think Jamal Haynes also too. I don't know. I think Alberto Mendoza will be great for them. I don't think he's going to be a great quarterback in general. But yeah, I got Georgia Tech at 9. At 8, I got Virginia as they got, I think, Bo Pribula, the transfer from Missouri. I want to check myself before I wreck myself. Virginia QB. I think it was, yes, Bo Pribula, who was sometimes better than out. I mean, remember when he was at Missouri last year, people were like, they want Drew Aller over this guy? This guy's way better than him. He gets injured. I don't know why he left Missouri with Ahmad Hardy coming back. That's odd. I don't know why he did that. But he's at Virginia. Virginia was a good team last year. They made the ACC title. They were overtime away from making the playoff. They go 11-3. They win their bowl game. And actually, I just realized Virginia beat Missouri in their bowl game. So he just transferred bowl teams. He came to the bowl game on the bus. I think it was the Dukes Mayo Bowl. He went on the bus with Missouri, left with Virginia. I got them at 8. At 7, I got NC State. CJ Bailey, their quarterback, is great. He's electric. I like this team. NC State's they're always really up and then really down. They were 8-5 this year, won their last 3 games, won their bowl game. And yeah, I like this NC State team. At 6, I got Louisville. This is Lincoln Kienholz. I'm going to be very excited to watch Louisville this year. Isaac Brown, maybe the best running back in the entire country coming back. I think he withdrew his name from either the portal or the draft. He will be coming back for them. Or actually, no, I messed up. I have SMU at 6 with Kevin Jennings. They finished what? 9-4 also. They also won. They won their bowl game. They beat, who did SMU beat? I'm such a casual now. I used to remember all the bowl games. They beat Arizona. I got them at 6. I got Louisville at 5. I was really high on them last year. I think I was a year early. Miller Moss was not really, honestly, he kind of was what I expected him to be, but I thought he was going to be better. But yeah, I like Lincoln Kienholz. Their coach, oh my God. Dude, what is wrong with me today? Jeff Brom. Oh my God. I'm sorry. I'm a casual today. I can't remember anything. But I like Jeff Brom, I think he grew up a Louisville fan, went to Kentucky at school, and then is coaching at Louisville. So it's like being an Ohio State fan, playing at Michigan, and then coaching at Ohio State. It makes no sense. But yeah, at 4, I got Cal. I'm not even going to pronounce the quarterback's name, but he was an amazing 5-star freshman. And yeah, this team who was gutted, absolutely gutted in the portal, goes 7-6. And absolutely, the fact that they even made a bowl game is insane. Devin Brown was supposed to be their starter. He was a transfer from Ohio State. Did not work out. The Sagapatuli guy starts. I'm not going to try to do that again. But I like them at 4. At 3, I got Pitt with Mason Heinschel. I think this guy is awesome. Pat Narduzzi, the head coach, I'm a little bit iffy on because he said Notre Dame can beat us 100-0. We don't care. But I love their quarterback. If you watch my top 10 quarterbacks video, he was my 10th best quarterback in the entire country. So I'm excited for them. At 2, and I know they're not actually in the ACC, but I got Notre Dame. It makes more sense. It's nice to put them there. I got Notre Dame at 2. They were turning a lot. I love Marcus Freeman. I love Marcus Freeman. They won to a national title a year ago. If they made the playoff this year, I could see them going to the national title. They were very close, the first team out, because of the 2 Group of 5 teams, because Duke won in a 5-way tiebreaker, because Cal beat SMU in overtime on a walk-off field goal. I know. But yeah, people were talking about CJ Carr could be one of the best Notre Dame quarterbacks of all time. They had Joe Montana, so I don't really get that, right? I'm not a casual, right? He went to Notre Dame today. Yes, he did. So I don't think he's the one of the best. Maybe Joe Montana just wasn't as great in college and he excelled in the NFL in Miami. But yeah, I got Notre Dame at 2. And at 1, I got Miami. Derry Mensah is my 2nd or 3rd best quarterback in the entire country. I think he is great. They got Damon Wilson from who was at Georgia, goes to Missouri, now is at Miami. And this defensive line is going to be awesome. Yes, you're losing Ruben Bain, Carson Beck, and you're losing Francis Maligo all to the draft. But you have Mark Fletcher back. You have Malachi Toney back. You're upgrading at quarterback. And the defense is in the quarter. Is it Hetherington? The Miami DC. Corey Heather. Yes, I was right. I'm not a casual. I swear I'm not a casual. I just don't watch ACC as much as the Big Ten. But yeah, I think Miami will be a top 5 team this year. Mario Cristobal. It really depends. Let me look at Miami's schedule this year, because they are terrible in November, which is why they lost to Louisville and SMU. So if we bring up their schedule in this up and coming year, so they start off at Stanford, Florida A&M, at Wake Forest, Central Michigan, a cakewalk of the first month. Remember last year they didn't leave the state of Florida till like November or September. So an easy 4. Then you're at Clemson, Florida State. Still pretty easy. Pitt, I think they're going to be the 3rd best team in the ACC, which is not really saying a ton, but I still think they're going to be decent. At North Carolina, then at Notre Dame at November 7th, which is what, 13, 14, or 13, 12, 11, like week 10, week 11? Yeah, probably week 11. So, yeah, very, very, very easy schedule. Except really, you have Virginia Tech as well. I will say the Notre Dame game is a November game, so I could see them being, 8-0, then losing on the road at Notre Dame, beating Duke, maybe losing to Virginia Tech, and then you're 10-2, and you'll maybe you won't get in this year, but you'll probably still get in. But that is my ACC power rankings. If you enjoyed today's video, make sure you hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and leave a comment down below. Who do you think is going to win the ACC? And turn on the notification bell so you get a notification every single time I release a new video. That's all I have for you guys today. Make sure you turn in tomorrow for the Big 12 rankings. If you want to see the Big 10 and the SEC power rankings, they're already on the channel. They're pinned in the description and on my homepage. But again, that's all I have for you guys today. I'll see you guys all tomorrow. And as always, thank you.